The stars twinkled against the vast emptiness of space as the Odyssey, an exploration vessel from Earth, cut through the darkness. Captain Elena Brooks stood at the observation deck, gazing into the unknown. After years of scanning distant planets, their mission had finally led them to a promising target. Kepler 452c, a newly discovered planet situated far beyond any previously explored systems. Captain, a voice crackled over the comm system. It was Dr. Vincent Ward, the ship's head scientist. We're approaching Kepler 452c. Initial scans indicate an oxygen-rich atmosphere and, remarkably, vegetation similar to Earth. Life, Elena murmured. We may not be alone after all. The Odyssey descended through the planet's atmosphere, its hull trembling as it pierced the thick clouds. Beneath them stretched a world covered in dense forests, towering mountains and vast oceans. The landscape was a haunting mirror of prehistoric Earth. Prepare for landing, Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the excitement bubbling within her. The ship touched down in a wide valley surrounded by towering trees. The air outside shimmered with humidity, and an eerie silence hung over the area, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. The crew disembarked, their boots sinking into the soft soil. Dr. Ward knelt, examining the vibrant flora that flourished around them. "This is astonishing," he said, brushing his hand over a fern-like plant. "It's as if we've stepped back into the Mesozoic era." As they ventured deeper into the forest, the sound of distant rumbling echoed through the trees, causing everyone to pause. "Did you hear that?" Lieutenant Sam Carter whispered, gripping his rifle tightly. Before anyone could respond, the ground trembled beneath their feet. Something massive was moving through the forest. "Look!" shouted one of the crew members, pointing towards the tree line. A colossal creature, its scaly body towering above the trees, emerged from the dense foliage. It was a dinosaur, an Apatosaurus, its long neck swaying as it grazed on the treetops. Elena's heart pounded in her chest. They weren't just on a planet with life. They were on a planet with dinosaurs. The discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community back on Earth. Communication was immediately established with mission control, and the implications of the find were staggering. Could these creatures have evolved separately from Earth, or was there a deeper mystery at play? Days passed as the crew continued their exploration of the planet. They documented a myriad of dinosaur species, from the peaceful herbivores that roamed the plains to the deadly predators lurking in the shadows. But as they ventured further into the wilderness, they began to notice strange signs. Markings on the trees, structures that didn't seem natural, and signs of an intelligence far beyond that of any animal. One evening, while camping near a waterfall, Elena was woken by a low hum. She stepped out of her tent to find a glowing light hovering just beyond the tree line. It wasn't any known Earth technology. "Captain, come in." Carter's voice buzzed over her communicator. "We've got something strange here." Elena hurried toward his location, and what she found made her blood run cold. Standing in the clearing was a tall, alien figure. Its skin a dark, shimmering blue, its eyes glowing faintly in the dark. It stood beside a dinosaur, a massive carnivore with sharp teeth, yet the creature was calm, almost docile in the presence of this being. The alien extended a hand toward Elena, speaking in a language she couldn't understand. But its intentions were clear. It was not hostile. Dr. Ward arrived moments later, scanning the alien with his equipment. "It's communicating," he said, his voice filled with awe. "It's saying they brought them here." "Brought who?" Elena asked, though deep down, she already knew the answer. "The dinosaurs." The alien led the crew to a hidden structure deep within the planet's jungle. It was a massive underground facility, filled with advanced technology that dwarfed anything humanity had ever created. Inside, they found ancient records, detailing a history that spanned millions of years. The aliens, known as the Dravans, had once been a thriving civilization with a deep understanding of genetics and biology. They had traveled the stars, collecting and preserving life from across the galaxy. Earth, millions of years ago, had been one of their harvests. The dinosaurs, along with countless other species, had been taken from Earth just before the asteroid wiped them out. "They've been here all this time," Dr. Ward whispered, staring at the holographic images of long-extinct Earth creatures. The Dray vans saved them. Elena felt a mix of awe and horror. The planet was a living museum, a sanctuary for life forms long lost Earth's history. But why? And what were the Dravans' intentions now? Before they could fully grasp the answers, alarms blared throughout the facility. The alien who had guided them, now agitated, pointed toward the sky, where dark shapes began descending. More Dray vans were arriving, and they didn't seem as welcoming as their guide. "We need to get back to the ship," Elena said, her voice tense. "Now!" The crew raced through the jungle, pursued by the hostile Dray vans. The once peaceful valley was now filled with chaos as dinosaurs, sensing the disturbance, fled in all directions. The ground shook as a Tyrannosaurus Rex roared in the distance, its powerful legs crashing through the underbrush. "They're trying to stop us," Carter shouted, firing his weapon at one of the approaching aliens. Elena's mind raced. They had uncovered a secret too dangerous to share. The Dray vans had been the silent stewards of life on this planet, but they had no intention of letting humanity leave with the knowledge of their existence. As they reached the clearing where the Odyssey was stationed, Elena shouted, "Get to the ship! We're leaving!" The crew scrambled aboard as the Dray vans closed in, their weapons glowing ominously. The engines roared to life, and the ship lifted off just as a bolt of energy struck the ground where they had stood moments before. "We're not out of this yet," Elena muttered, her hands gripping the controls tightly. The Odyssey soared into the sky, narrowly avoiding another blast from the Dravans' weapons. As they broke through the atmosphere, Elena allowed herself a moment to breathe. They had escaped, but the cost had been high. Back on Earth, the crew of the Odyssey became legends. Their discovery of a planet filled with dinosaurs and the ancient alien race that had saved them was hailed as the most significant scientific breakthrough in human history. But the truth of what they had found, the Dravans' role in shaping the history of life on Earth, was kept hidden from the public. Elena stood at the edge of the observation deck, gazing up at the stars. She knew that the Dray vans were still out there, watching, waiting, and one day, humanity would have to confront the truth about its past and its future. For now, though, the planet they had discovered remained untouched, a forgotten world where dinosaurs still roamed, and the secrets of the universe lay hidden beneath the surface. Back on Earth, Captain Elena Brooks and her crew were paraded as heroes. The media glorified their journey, turning their mission into a spectacle. But the truth, the existence of the Dray vans and their role in harvesting Earth's prehistoric life, was buried deep in classified government files. Only a handful of officials knew the full extent of the discovery. Elena, however, couldn't shake the feeling that the Dray vans were not done with humanity. The image of the alien standing alongside the dinosaur haunted her dreams. What had the Dray vans intended for Earth all those millions of years ago? Why had they preserved the dinosaurs? Was humanity itself part of their long-term experiment? While these questions gnawed at Elena, Dr. Vincent Ward, obsessed with the alien technology they had seen, began secret work with a private team of scientists. He believed that some of the Dravans' bioengineering techniques could be adapted for Earth's benefit, curing diseases, extending human lifespans, even resurrecting extinct species. But there was a darker side to his research. Ward's ambition wasn't just scientific curiosity. He sought to control life itself. Meanwhile, strange events began happening across Earth. Unusual seismic activity was reported in various parts of the world, and disturbing sightings started to flood the news. Creatures resembling dinosaurs had been spotted in remote areas. Most dismissed them as hoaxes, but Elena knew better. Something was happening. Late one night, as Elena stood alone on the rooftop of her apartment in New York, her communicator buzzed. It was Carter, her former lieutenant. "You need to see this." Carter's voice crackled through the line. "Turn on the news." Elena rushed inside and turned on the TV. The screen showed a scene of chaos. Military forces surrounding a massive, pulsating sphere hovering over a remote desert. The sphere radiated an eerie blue light, and the news anchor's voice trembled as he reported that it had appeared out of nowhere just hours ago. Elena's heart sank. It was Dravan technology. She immediately contacted the government officials overseeing the Odyssey mission. "We need to prepare. The Dravans are here, and they aren't here for peaceful negotiations." Within hours, Elena was summoned to a high-security meeting. The military, scientists, and world leaders debated how to respond to the alien presence. Some argued for diplomacy, while others pushed for an immediate attack on the sphere. But before a decision could be made, the Dravan sphere emitted a massive energy pulse that disabled every satellite and communication system on Earth. Elena clenched her fists. "They're not giving us a choice. We have to stop them." Dr. Ward, however, had other plans. He saw the Dravan's arrival as an opportunity. In the chaos that followed the energy pulse, Ward and his team went rogue. They stole Dravan samples from a secret lab, along with the data they had collected on the aliens' genetic technology. Ward believed that with these resources, he could harness the power of the Dravans to reshape Earth's future in his image. He disappeared into the shadows, determined to pursue his own agenda. As the world's military scrambled to mobilize, things took a terrifying turn. Massive rifts began to open up across the planet. Strange portals that seemed to connect Earth to Kepler 452c. Out of these portals emerged dinosaurs, but they weren't the peaceful herbivores Elena and her crew had seen. These were mutated, monstrous versions of the creatures, their DNA twisted by Dravan experimentation over the millennia. Cities were thrown into panic as the beasts rampaged through the streets. Elena realized that the Dravans had been experimenting on the dinosaurs for more than just preservation. They had been altering them, creating a bioweapon, and now they were unleashing it on Earth. "The Dravans are testing us," Elena said, staring at the destruction on the news. "They want to see if we're worthy of survival." Elena gathered her old crew, including Carter and some trusted scientists, to embark on a desperate mission to stop the Dravans. They had to return to Kepler 452c and find a way to shut down the portals from the source. But as they prepared to leave, Elena received an unexpected message from Ward. "I know what the Dravans are planning," Ward said, "and I can stop them, but only if you join me." Elena hesitated. Ward had always been brilliant, but she couldn't trust him. His obsession with the Dravan's technology had driven him to reckless extremes. But with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance, she had no choice. She agreed to meet him, knowing full well it could be a trap. Ward had set up his base of operations in a hidden facility deep in the Arctic, where the last vestiges of Dravan technology were being studied. When Elena and her crew arrived, they found Ward surrounded by strange machines, Dravan devices he had managed to reconfigure. "I've unlocked their secrets," Ward said with a gleam in his eyes. "I can control the portals, even manipulate the Dravan technology to rebuild Earth in a way we never dreamed possible. We can be gods." Elena recoiled. "That's not your decision to make. We have to shut this down before it's too late." Ward's expression darkened. "You still don't understand. The Dravans aren't invincible, they're dying. They've been watching Earth for centuries, looking for a successor, and now they're testing us to see if we're worthy of inheriting their knowledge. If we fail, they'll destroy us." Ward's plan became clear. He wanted to use the Dravan's technology to transform humanity, to force evolution and take control of the planet's future. But his experiments had already begun to spiral out of control. As Ward and Elena argued, the Dravans launched their final attack. Portals began opening up all over the world, and mutated dinosaurs poured through in overwhelming numbers. Ward, seeing his plans falling apart, activated his machines to try to seize control of the portals. But the Dravan technology was far more advanced than he realized. Instead of stabilizing the portals, his interference caused them to expand uncontrollably. threatening to merge Earth and Kepler 452c into a single, chaotic world. Desperate, Elena and Carter fought their way through Ward's facility, dodging rogue Dravan creatures and the mutated dinosaurs that now filled the halls. They reached the central control room, where Ward was still frantically trying to manipulate the Dravan devices. "You're going to destroy everything," Elena shouted. "Not if I succeed," Ward screamed. "This is our only chance." Realizing there was no reasoning with him, Elena made a choice. She overloaded the Dravan control panel, triggering a catastrophic feedback loop. The entire facility began to collapse as the Dravan technology imploded. "Get out of here," Elena yelled to Carter as the room filled with blinding light. Ward screamed in fury as his dreams of power were shattered. Elena and Carter barely escaped the facility as it was consumed in a massive explosion, the shockwave closing the portals and severing the connection between Earth and Kepler 452c. The world was left in ruins, but the immediate threat was over. The Dravans had retreated, and the mutated dinosaurs that had rampaged across the planet were either destroyed or vanished when the portals closed. Elena stood on a hill overlooking the wreckage of Ward's facility. She had saved humanity from the Dravans' twisted experiment, but at what cost? Millions had died, and the scars left by the invasion would last for generations. The Dravans were still out there, watching, and there was no telling when or if they would return. But one thing was certain: Earth would never be the same. The existence of extraterrestrial life, dinosaurs, and advanced technology had shattered humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. As Elena gazed up at the stars, she knew the fight wasn't over. The Dravans had tested humanity, and though they had won this battle, a greater war was coming. And this time, humanity would be ready.